Hello, Halftime TV. Welcome to another episode. We have some big news for you today, and I think this will change a whole lot of things in the track and field arena because over the years we've especially as fans, we've been fixated on performances from our favorite athletes and the differences in performances when it compares to, well, for example, from the Diamond League to the World Championship to the Olympics. And personally, I think motivation is one of the key factors or the key components when it comes down to performances of these athletes at these main events. And I'll go into that and a whole lot more as we go out and we dissect what the news is. Let me say a big shout out to everyone who's tuned into Halftime TV. If it's the first time here, welcome. We appreciate your company. Thanks for tuning in. So, and this news is coming from the Associated Press. All right, so this news is coming from the Associated Press. It's not Halftime TV making it up. And I'll go through everything. We'll go into the details and the context of everything. All right, so the headline reads, and this was published April 10, 11:06 a.m. So I think today is April 10. So just about an hour ago. So track and field becomes the first sport to pay prize money at Olympics. Paris gold medalists will get 50,000 US dollars. Now, people may be saying $50,000, not that much, but consider that gold medalists, they weren't getting anything prior. Okay, so usually, and we saw Jamaican track athletes like Asafa Powell come out and say the government made promises and all of that, and when he returned home, nothing happened, and all horse dead and cow fat, as my grandparents would say. But track and field, and this is the headline from the Associated Press just about an hour ago. Track and field becomes first a sport to pay prize money at Olympics. Now, usually the countries they give you a stipend when you return from the Olympics. For example, in Canada, gold medalists from the Olympics they get, I believe it's $20,000. Silver medalists get 15, and then bronze medalists get 10. In the United States, I think from the Paralympics in 2021, the first, I think it was 37,000, somewhere there. I'm not sure, so I don't want to say that. I don't want to say it, and that's not the case. But I'm pretty sure in Canada, the first place or Olympic gold medalists get $20,000. Now, in the context of things, $20,000 can get you a vehicle, but what type of vehicle? A brand new vehicle for $20,000 US. As an Olympic star, you want to be riding in style, and I tell you something: $20,000. If it gets you there, it's just. Okay, so when you get there, it's just because then you're gonna have to consider insurance. You're gonna have to think about other things. So it's not that much, but $50,000 coming from the Olympics is a great deal, and I think it should be followed across all sport. Now, I'll read the actual article. Track and field is set to become the first sport to introduce prize money at the Olympics, with World Athletics saying Wednesday it would pay $50,000 to gold medalists in Paris. The move is a symbolic break with the amateur past of the Olympics in one of the game's most watched events. The governing body of athletics said it was setting aside $2.4 million to pay the gold medalists across the 48 men's, women's, and mixed event on the track and field program for this year's Paris Olympics. Relay teams will split the $50,000 between their members. Payments for silver and bronze medalists are planned to start from the 2028 Olympics in Los Angeles. I don't think I agree with that bit. I don't think I agree with that. I think that approach is similar to what we see now with the CEOs, and some may say even tennis as well, where you see the first prize gets an exorbitant fee, and then nothing is left for second and third place. I think the silver and bronze place should be included in this year's Olympics as well. So imagine first place getting $50,000, and then silver and bronze not getting anything. So I don't agree with that part. I think if you're including the 50,000 this year, which don't get me wrong, I welcome the 50,000 as a prize money this year, but I think they should include everyone on the podium straight off the bat. Okay. Anyway, continuing. World Athletics President Sebastian Coe told reporters that the move is meant to recognize that the revenue share that we receive is in a large part because our athletes are the stars of the show. All right, the prize money will come out of the share of the Olympic revenue that the IOC, and the IOC is the Olympic Committee, distributes to World Athletics. However, the move could upset the balance of power in the Olympic movement ahead of the Paris Games. Coe said World Athletics only gave the International Olympic Committee a heads up of its intentions on Wednesday morning, shortly before it published the announcement. All right. In a response, the IOC said it was up to each sports governing body to decide how to spend its share of the Olympic revenue. All right. So all of that to say, because my thing is, and it goes down further in the article, it spoke about the United States Olympic and Paralympic Committee awarded 37,500 to gold medalists at the last Summer Olympics in 2021. Singapore National Olympic Council promised 1 million for Olympic gold, a feat only achieved once so far by a Singaporean competitor. So I I think the gist of the article is it's a massive move, and it's a massive move for track and field and for the Olympics in general. I think the aura of Olympics and just the pride and the joy of competing at the Olympics in yesteryear, it was enough to motivate athletes to come out, because an Olympic gold medal meant so much to these athletes, and one would give the world to get an Olympic gold medal. There are athletes who have multiple Olympic gold medals, the likes of Shelley and Fraser Price, the likes of Usain Bolt. So these athletes earn what they've earned through sponsorships and endorsement deals and that sort of thing. We've seen now the likes of Sha'Carri Richardson yet to win an Olympic gold medal. And a couple of weeks ago, a couple of months ago, she received a $20 million endorsement deal from Nike. So I think athletes having to rely on endorsement deals, and endorsement deals comes down to your marketability. So if you're not as marketable, even if you've won multiple gold medals and all of that, you won't get the big payday. So I think the Olympic Association or the Olympic Committee coming out and paying the athletes straight out about $50,000. So even if you don't get the big endorsement, you still have $50,000 to do with it what you wish. I think it's a good move. I think going into this Olympics, it will get a lot more athletes motivated. Not that they weren't already motivated, but it's kind of like a tap on your shoulder to say, hey, this is an extra impetus to get the job done. But I'm going to throw it over to those in the comment section to hear what they have to say. What are your thoughts on this new idea or of this new phenomena being included now, where athletes or gold medalists will be compensated $50,000 US? And for context, I want you to remember, I want to remind you that in the Diamond League, you get $10,000 US for each race that you win. And if you win the final event, or if you're the Diamond League champion, you receive $30,000 US. So if you run 5 or 6 Diamond League meets for the year, you win and you come first in every one, that's $60,000 US straight off the spin. Then you go to the final and you win it as well. That's another 30,000. So that takes you up to 90,000. I think for the World Championship, the last one that we just had, I think the prize money for gold was $70,000 US. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it was $70,000 US. And first, second, and third received prize money as well. I think all the way down to 7th place or 8th place, the last person in the race received prize money. And that is also the case for the Diamond League, where even if you're placed 7th or 8th, you receive a cut from the purse as well. So paying these athletes for their effort. And I think track and field is a tricky sport, because all it takes is one injury and that's it for you. And mind you, this is an individual sport. So if you get one injury, you can't compete again. You won't get back to the heights. You're probably going to have to look at a job, all right? You're going to have to find a job, yeah, whether the 9 to 5 or something else. But you need to find something to do. So I think they should be compensated, and they should be handsomely compensated as well, because it requires so much and the margins are so thin. So if, for example, I think a lot of the endorsement deals that these athletes have, they are contingent on them qualifying for Olympics or qualifying for the finals of events, etc., etc. if an athlete doesn't qualify for example, the final of the Olympics, then they lose out on an additional 5,000 or an additional 10,000, or depending on what the endorsement deal is. It may be even as great a number as 20, 30,000. Okay, so personally, I think it's a great move. I think the athletes should be paid $50,000 for gold medalists is a big step. But I also think, and this is me being playing devil's advocate, I also think second and third place should be compensated as well, whether it's 30,000 for second place or silver, and 15,000 for bronze, whatever it is. But I think they should be compensated because it's a lot of work. It requires a lot of effort. And as I mentioned before, in track and field, they're so thin or so fine margins that these athletes, it could go wrong anywhere. And when it goes wrong, that could basically be robbing them of a year's work. And in addition to that, them not being compensated or them not seeing a penny from it. But let's throw it over to you, the viewers and subscribers. What are your thoughts on that? Halftime TV saying, until next time, peace out. Remember, like, share, subscribe. We'll talk soon. Bye bye.